Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Church Girls Who Rock with myself, the Swazi. I have a woman of God, Pastor Buhle Thela. We have been mistaken for twins.
For sisters, more like,
Someone comes. Okay, first greet the viewers at home.
Hi.
Someone comes to my TikTok and says, "You look like Pastor Buhle's twin," or I think it was the red hair, wasn't it?
Yes, it was the red hair because I had cut my hair and I dyed my hair red, and I think you had done the same around that same time or just before. I don't know.
I've always had red hair though.
You've always had red?
Before I went blonde, 2015, 16, 17, 18.
So I only dyed my hair red last year, and that was for a season. I was trying something out, and it worked for a season, but it's high maintenance, so I quickly dropped it. I was like, it's not going to work for me.
And today we came in curls.
Yes.
Blonde curls at that.
Like, what a coincidence. As we walked in, and I'm like, now this is why people say on TikTok that we look alike. And
it's nice and amazing for me to be called a twin or a sister of a beautiful woman of God like you.
So
You're welcome.
Thank you.
How is ministry?
Sure. Ministry is good. But ministry is also challenging. Ministry is lonely, and ministry it kind of separates you, from the normal, from the usual, and but it's also fulfilling. It's that place of knowing that you are at the right time, at the right place, with the right people, doing the right things. Ministry gives you that,
and I see that actually. It's not just for you. It's not just about the artistry of the music, but the ministry of the music. Hence, even the show in September. You do things like camps for worshipers. And this is where you're like, I'm a star.
I'm thinking, okay, how does she know that? But anyway,
I've seen that you do camps for worshipers, etc., etc. Has that always been the plan for you, even when you were in Joyous? Has that always been the route that God had channeled you to?
Yes. In fact, I had started with ministry in music way before Joyous. And because ultimately for me, it's the ministry that's important, but the ministry in our case is captured or is carried
the platform that we use
is music. But the purpose of what it is that we do is not just for entertainment, Yes, we sing well. Yes, we play well. But it's not just for people to enjoy it. So it's for that they enjoy it. But after enjoying it, their lives can be changed. They can be transformed. They can be healed. They can have an encounter with God, whatever it is. So the music is a vehicle that we are using to minister to people.
So in this climate now where gospel musicians are under pressure to meet certain standards, to sound a certain way, and they have a goalpost in their mind to say it needs to look like this, it needs to sound like that. What draws the line? What then? How far do we go into the vehicle, and where do we toe the line and say, now I think I've overstepped from it being, a calling or a ministry?
I think
because you can't deny that we have a lot of perceived competition, and not only from ourselves but also from the audience. Comparison.
Yeah, I think for me it's being authentic. We can sing the same song. We can do the same runs. We can even play the same instrument and play the same notes from a score, whatever the case may be. But being authentic says the way you do it, nobody else can do it. And that's not pride. It's just a place of knowing who you are, like what you possess. And so for me, once you step outside of you, the authentic you're already in entertainment. Once you step out, And I'm not talking about, look, music is I mean, the Bible even requires us to be skillful musicians.
Yes.
Music needs skill. Music has colors. Music has, dynamics and all of those things, and which we do. But all of that should not move out of you. It's like, I'm not a radical minister. You are. You go into preaching as you minister. I might say a word, but I won't preach like you do it.
Preachers sing.
Preachers sing. You understand? If I'm going to have to do what you do, I'm going to use extra energy to try and make my voice louder, to try and make my voice radical, to try and make it more powerful. And I've already stepped outside of not the authentic me. And already that is wrong. But if I'm within who I am, but I'm perfecting my skill, I'm sharpening my skill, then it's all good. So for me, it's when I try to be you. I try to do, I was watching a clip of somebody, which I won't name, where I've never seen them, sing in a certain way. And then all of a sudden they sing in a certain way. And I'm like, this is, we don't know this.
Isn't it progressive growth, or maybe they're listening to something that has influenced them?
Yeah, they are, but also it's not them. Like, I don't feel...
It feels ouch.
It feels forced. It feels like you're trying too hard. It feels like whether you are soft or radical or loud or whatever the case may be, it shouldn't feel like you're forcing it. It should feel authentic.
But I feel like a lot of our music ministers. Can I say this? A lot of our music ministers are not being held accountable for their personal lives.
I agree.
And in that happening, we end up just getting the skill, really, because the closet is speaking to something different.
I hear you. And most of them don't have a covering, Vele. Yeah, most of them, they don't have a covering. And I think it also contributes to the things that are happening in the industry. And we know that things like depression and all of those things, they are real, they are medical terms, there are studies on it. But a lot of it, and those are things that as a church, I think we're not ready to talk about it. A lot of it stems from the fact that you are not covered. You mount on altars. Some altars are actually after your mind. Some altars are after your career. It's so many different things, and those are things we don't talk about.
Oh my goodness!
You are not covered, and because you are not covered, you're gonna mount on a platform. Yes, you're gonna mount on a platform that is red. It was prepared to kill you.
Let me ask you this: you are just speaking about altars. The altar hopping. Let me call it altar hopping.
Yeah.
1 minute you are in this church, 1 minute you are in that church, 1 minute you are in that church, 1 minute you are in that church.
Yeah.
The spiritual ramifications of you just doing that and not being centered and not having a covering, as you are saying, is that still looked at as, I am a minister, therefore I should be all over? Or is it now just a career and you just collecting an honorarium?
It's a okay.
A tricky one, because we have to pay bills.
No,
that's how we look at it, isn't it?
Yeah, we that's how we look at it. But okay, maybe I'm going to take a longer route in this. Traveling ministers within the Bible were always there. I'm going to use Peter, who was a traveling minister. But remember the time where he was in jail. The Bible says the church, meaning the people who knew him as part of them, prayed for him while he was in prison.
So he remained covered.
He remained covered. And the covering is not just your pastor. It's the community of believers that the Lord allows you to walk a journey with, who love you beyond your gift, who are going to be praying for you, who know that you are part of them, you fellowship with them, who, when somebody says, Buhle is not okay, they know how to get on their knees. But now the thing about people who church hop, not necessarily traveling ministers, because you can be a travel minister. That's not your home. You're there to minister, but you have a home, a place where you pray with them. You attend cell group with them. You understand? That's what I'm talking about. You go to church when you're not gigging. That's the place. That's the place you call home. That's the place you want to raise your children in. That's the people you want to them to be with you in times of Yaban. This has got nothing to do with me going to this church this week, going to that church this week. All of that I'm working, and that's fine. That God allows us for us to do that. But I can now take myself and not be part of this church, and then in the next 3 months I'm part of another church. And nalapho, if it's in a confidence that some of us musicians have, ukuthi uyafika esontweni lelo, ufike today, next week so we worship team.
You are exercising your calling.
No, on which platform?
In as much as I hear you about traveling ministers, I still want to be controversial. There's been a debate on social media because I want to know, where do we toe the line? And I believe that musicians, we've been quiet, we have not responded, many of us, and well, we shouldn't, because these are our pastors that are speaking out against this this thing. So there's been a debate that's been sparked on social media about, okay, so today you are there, you are no longer in your local church because you're a traveling minister, right? So you no longer have a home base as they see it. So if you're absent from church for 6 weeks, in their mind, you're no longer a member. You may appear one Saturday in that 6 weeks, but you are just everywhere. And they're coming back and they're saying you are supposed to have a home base. How is it, where do we find the balance now? Because our covering is complaining about our lack of being in the house, yet we say that, we are traveling ministers and in a way making a living. I think this is a conversation that needs to be had.
I hear you. But this is where I think we got it wrong, Siswamne. Church was never a Sunday phenomenon. The church community was never that. And that's why I mentioned things like cell group, like prayer. One of the things that happened, during COVID times, is that most pastors moved into online praying, online meeting. And I remember sitting down with a couple of pastors and I said to them, this is the reality. If in these few months you've been going online every Tuesday, for an example, and you have not been able to physically see your members, but your members have not shown up, liked, shared, or viewed your on social media. And yet we are in a time where most people have data, most people have social media. But if they have not done that, that is a clear indication that I'm no longer a member. Do you understand? Now, I'm using that example to say, I believe that when you're part of a church community, I'm not just there on a Sunday to sing. I'm not just there on a Sunday to sing. I'm part of the community. That includes if there's prayers, I'm there. That includes if there's cell group, I'm there. That includes if I can come. I send an SMS, you understand? I contribute to the church building. If all of that is happening and yet I'm not physically there, but people are feeling my presence, that when there's online prayer on 6, when there is an offering for building, my name is there, then people have no basis to say she's no longer part of us. But then Tina, as musicians, we only do our part on the pulpit. We don't integrate ourselves into the church community. And then you understand, we don't integrate ourselves into the church community with other activities that happen that make you feel part of the family.
This is now why we are experiencing the backlash.
Exactly.
Let's go back to music. You have an exciting event coming up in September.
Yes.
Tell us more about that.
I am recording my second album.
When was the last time you had a recording?
2017. It's been 8 years. It's taken me 8 years to finally. In fact, it took me less, but it's in this year that I am finally doing it to the glory of God. And there are a number of reasons why I haven't. Firstly, being the usual one, which is finances.
Because you are self-funded.
Yes, I'm self-funded. So it's finances, because it's costly to do these things. And number two also is that I'm a firm believer that when you record, I have to have something to say. Like I said earlier, I don't like forced things. I don't like something that is forced. Like I was trying too hard to make a powerful song. Like I was trying too hard to make a hit song. I don't want that. I want to say something. And so I think I'm at a place where I have something to say in terms of what the Lord has laid in my heart. And so I think it is the time to do it.
But I believe that also after your ordination, which was when?
2017 as well.
You were ordained in 2017?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is your first presentation as Pastor Buhle.
Yes.
This is amazing. But I believe that also I was going to say that after the ordination, I earlier on you said you teach as well at Bible College. So also finding the space as well to actually do that.
Yeah, and also I think also, and the Bible says when the time is right, the Lord will do it.
Yeah.
I think right now it has been a build-up. All these years have been a build-up to what God is doing right now in my life in terms of getting me ready spiritually and getting that settlement of this is what God wants me to do. And also, I think being ready vocally as well, because we sometimes take for granted how much strength is needed and vocal strength is needed to actually pull off a good recording. I think, I'm at a place where I can sing for 2.5 hours.
I always say to my husband, and he always laughs at me, whenever I do maybe 3 live concerts a year. Yeah. That's all the singing that I technically do in a year. And then the rest is just preaching or the speaking. Yeah. So I always say to my husband, every time we're going to have a concert, I need you to vocally train me because he does that. Oh, wow. And he's always like, huh? And I'm like, no, but I'm serious because there's a strain that your voice takes from the preaching. Yeah. As much as I preach a saying, when I preach, I preach. Yeah. So it's not like, I'm like, hi, bazalwane, we are. So how do you then strike the balance between trying to maintain the singing voice, or what do you do? Rather, let me rephrase. What do you do to keep in shape? I'm struggling with it, to keep in shape with the singing whilst you're doing the preaching, or do you not do the preaching as often as you do the singing?
I think for me it's very balanced. I do both because I'm still part of the worship team at the church.
Wow.
I'm still part of the worship team. So
that takes a lot of humility.
Yeah, and strength from God.
But humility.
Humility,
because it's not everybody that has the humility to be part of an ensemble when they've actually bloomed into their own.
I hear you.
And I say this I'm a worship pastor globally, and I have people who actually have bloomed into their own, and you never see them at rehearsal, but you always see them on stage. So it takes a lot of humility for you to still be doing that.
Yeah, but partly also I think I got it from my mother. My mother was still part of the worship team at 70. And she stopped being part of the worship team when she fell ill, but she instilled in us that purpose does not expire, and even talents actually, because a talent, the more you use it, the more it grows. The less you use it, going back to what you were saying, is the place of, when you're talking about training your voice for this, it's almost like a marathon runner. If you're not going to train, even though you look fit, but if you're not going to train, you're not going to finish the 70 Ks that they require you to finish. So for me, it has been balanced, as in I'm still part of the worship team, so I'm part of that. And there's the teaching that I do, ministering. So one of the things that I do, especially if I know I'm going to have a hectic weekend, firstly, I change the diet in terms of, because with me, ice, dairy, So anything too hot or too cold, and dairy, they mess me up the wrong way. And even some sugary stuff. Actually, yesterday I was going to minister. I went to church and I was going to minister in another church. And on the way, I drank a Red Bull. And a Red Bull has this thing that sits on your throat. And as I finished, I'm like, oh, I forgot.
Why did I do that?
So now I'm conscious of those things. So it's okay, if I'm going to minister, or if I'm going to, especially when it's like 2 or 3 engagements, or, engagements of a week or a weekend, the first thing is the diet, because whatever I put into my throat, it will affect me. And the other thing is keeping quiet, which is a difficult one when you're traveling with people. But the keeping quiet helps a lot if I'm going to be ministering. And luckily, the people I travel with, I kind of say, that's too late.
And they understand.
That's too late, because I'm trying to pace myself. Like Easter weekends, a lot of us are, you want to balance church and then going to minister in places. I tell my friends, at 11, I'm no longer talking.
You just called me out on Red Bull.
Yeah.
You just called me out on ice cream.
Yeah.
You just called me out on sweets.
Yeah. And you can feel them. You must actually pay attention that what happens when you do eat them. Even on a day you're not going to minister. The dairy and the ice cream and the ice, actually, they create phlegm. And then you find yourself going a lot. And that is not helping.
Do you do vocal training?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Okay.
maybe I should give my husband a break and come to you.
Yeah.
It's been such an inspiring and informative chat as well. I just want you to just throw back to your concert. You said, where is it happening?
At the State Theatre, Pretoria State Theatre, on the 20th of September.
Where can people find tickets?
At Web Tickets. So the tickets are already available at Web Ticket from 300 Rand.
And are you having any guests?
Yes, I am having guests, but my guests are not necessarily known. So my guests is firstly my family. I come from a musical family.
Yes.
And so we've never actually, we have once done something together, but I think we can actually do something together.
When you say not necessarily known, we are speaking to
TV. Yeah, I do believe in collaboration. I really, really do. But I also believe in giving people an opportunity as well. And that's where I'm,
that's where you are.
Yeah. People that have not been given a platform, God gives us platforms so that we can open platforms to other people. But also on the issue of collaborating, it's also very nice to collaborate. This is a personal...
You're about to say with like-spirited and like-minded people.
Thank you. Read my mind, because in collaboration, I have to allow you to fully walk in the grace that God has given to you within the song, and not overshadow you. Because at the end of the day, if we're both going to be screaming in a song, it makes no...
It's been amazing chatting to you,
Thank
Pastor
you,
Buhle, my twin, my sister.
Yes.
And I wish you all the best with your
you
future
so
plans and your recording. And truly, you're a church girl who rocks.
Yes,
To be able to be full-time in ministry and still hold your own in the industry, it is truly inspiring. And how grounded you are in God and how rooted you are in, serving. So your church is really blessed. Very few are like you. Your church is really blessed. Until next time, thank you for joining us. My name is Swazi. You're a church girl who rock.